TV Oborabu Wagusi.
Welcome to Porter's Premium School, molding the future one child at a time. Porter's Premium School is a modern, world-class learning institution located in the serene environment of Nyatieko, Mwisho wa Lami, just 3 kilometers from Kisii town. Our school stands out as a premier educational facility in the region, far ahead of others in providing a nurturing, safe and stimulating environment where children thrive academically, socially and morally. Nestled in a clean and naturally refreshing setting, Porter's Premium School offers learners the ideal atmosphere for focused learning and holistic development. Surrounded by nature with fresh air and ample space, the school provides a calm and inspiring environment that fosters curiosity and creativity in young minds. We are comprehensively equipped with ECD classes, spacious modern primary classes and CBE-compliant junior school. This is complemented by modern fully furnished boarding for both boys and girls. At Porter's Premium School, we are founded on strong Christian values, aiming to mold both boys and girls into responsible, compassionate, and disciplined individuals. We believe that academic excellence goes hand in hand with moral development, shaping the character of every child entrusted to our care. Our school boasts modern, spacious classrooms equipped with ample learning materials to engage even our youngest learners. Restrooms and quiet nap areas are provided for children who need a break during the day, ensuring they remain refreshed and focused. We have a fully equipped ICT laboratory, spacious enough to accommodate multiple learners, alongside facilities for music, cookery, and Kenya Sign Language, providing a rich and diversified learning experience. Our trained and qualified teachers are committed to delivering top-notch education while nurturing the individual talents of each child. Understanding the importance of play in child development, we have a spacious playground fitted with safe and engaging playing materials. Children enjoy physical activities that enhance their social skills, fitness, and teamwork in a secure environment. Porter's Premium School prioritizes the health and well-being of our learners, and we maintain clean toilet facilities with running water. Security is strictly enforced from the school entrance to ensure every child is safe at all times. To ensure convenience for parents and learners, the school has heavily invested in a reliable fleet that offers safe and timely transport to ensure learners are picked and dropped on time. Our vans don't just carry learners, but they carry dreams, laughter, and the promise of a bright tomorrow. Admissions from playgroup through to junior school are now open. Secure a place for your child today and give them the head start they deserve. Contact us at 0731 626 284 or 0721 958 735 or visit our school in Nyatieko, Mwisho wa Lami, Kisii. Don't wait, slots are limited. Porter's Premium School is more than just a school. It's a community dedicated to nurturing bright, capable, and morally upright future leaders. Join us today and watch your child soar to new heights.
Supermarket ya Gunman nigo yagenreire gokoretera obokoreri ubuya hange nasore nabono nigo twigwire Kisii Mega Supermarket ijwe gotoka so gatakati bumo cy'ubusongo hange ne nyomba ya St. Jude nigo boiko tubwatisagia unabono imiyomo cy'ubusongo branch enye ya Kisii CBD hange na Huduma Center neri ya Kisii Main egotoka so bisi ya Kigali che Guardian Angel boiga babwate kibirigo Ogembo Rongo Riruta Rongae hamagulito ni gari yomubuko inchobono wenyorekerekemo aserigori ryensekekima asamange bakirisimia senamba 0745 909 887. Gatmat Supermarket. Get more for less. Ina kwabere gukuriya chibel sha mitumba ao asirigori yoranyare kwikeria mama tefi mitumba neduka emba ukegima asomo chobosongo ya chirenkuma asokonya bells ao asirigori yoranyare kwikeria mabwate bunabono jackets, school bags, mixed bags, hoodies, baby light, house towels, ebikoro tubyabana gwika abantu abanene, curtains amone ebintu ebinge. Inyura ibyonsi niko birase kerengo kya grade 1 kuruchise kya Canada, UK, USA amona China. Boigo nkorobara mayigiri yogo cyase bali batagetigo kya bakoro bonchoreria bwa mitumba. Niko bagotuka Kisi Town Imperial Building, ground floor opposite St. Jude's Building.
Karibu Mama Tefi Mitumba, emesigo yaitogere mesigo grade 1, emesigo eremia na ndi mesigo tokwana na seligo lirirense sana. Ekaroro magani kunyara tolewa kwa mafundisho ngana kiwone to chake biashara bya mitumba. Naenda abange siko gali nkwebuli balenga nimbwate bibesa bikeigo nkinda anyare ko bagingo kora. Wakali bishiro ase Mama Tefi Mitumba oti ni chibesa kiriyo bwate elinde tunyare ko batowe karanza tunyare ko manyanga musigo kyota kere ko bagogo chakera oyoro muya ligoli lili kasi kiriyo bwate igobono kera nyare kana ngano bwate kiri busano elibusita tuikaranza nkali ko bolinga inkina akore
asamange bakirisi ase namba 0727081605 gose 0727574835 niko bakwigora amatukonse jeiki Mama Tefi Mitumba obokoryo bya bwa mitumba origene.
Welcome to Timiza School, where excellence is nurtured and dreams come alive. Located along Kisii-Keroka Highway at Nyosia 1, Timiza School is now admitting learners for 2026 from playgroup to grade 9. At Timiza, your child is taught by TSC-certified teachers expertly trained in the CBC curriculum, ensuring they excel holistically. We go beyond the basics by offering French and Kenyan Sign Language, preparing learners to thrive in a globalized world. Our modern facilities are designed for comfort and excellence. Spacious, well-equipped classrooms, comfortable and secure boarding facilities, modern and clean washrooms, clean and safe water for drinking. We inspire innovation and curiosity through the state-of-the-art science and computer labs. At Timiza, talents are nurtured through a variety of co-curricular activities including football, basketball, swimming, chess, scouts, and inspiring music programs. With adequate training equipment, our reliable and affordable transport system ensures your child's safety and convenience. Don't miss out. Interviews and admissions for 2026 are ongoing at Timiza School from playgroup to grade 9. Secure your child's place in a school where excellence and opportunity come together. Call us on today 0726 882397 or 0729 658659 for more information or to book an interview. Timiza School. Discover your best.
HK Pharmaceutical Center ninya gitari gutumika chinjira cyekerero kumureke bimo byao na kumanya uburoire nigo babwata mariogo yemete arosirie n'ubumanyo bonene akorwa chinse cheisko bunere ya Hong Kong, USA, Malaysia na United Kingdom. Nigo babwata mariogo yabana na boigo ayabanta banene ngorwale bara maroire buna diabetes, high blood pressure, chinengo arthritis, cancer, chinyigo, obogomba, low libido asaba sacha na yanda manke.
Inche no manyagitare iri nikema obangi korwa senyagitare ya HK International Herbal Center sumuchuito bosongo na inde marimo roira ali tukubwenya na ya tukurukanga lifestyle diseases ose chronic diseases ama roira ali ago swasu mubere kwanyoranga ekerobo mubwasoire nigo bokwarigania maroira amange kwanyoranga umubere usalikire na inde twakonyira abantu abange kuri mwaka 2011 na inde nigo tubwate chi machine chikoligerera umubiri w'omugima ebimo byao byonsi ipi biritokonyora byasoirwa gutwara umuchando na inde tubwata mariogo na marioga ya igaitu nigara yemete na inde turuseti chinse cheisiko ao na inde nigara marioga rosiri no umanyi bwa igoro mono ayo akonyara kurusia amaroira yaboniga kurwasu umubiri itu yani bunabona umurigereria ayande niga gusibia manyinga ayo itayo umubiri arusia amafuta ali amabeto kurukanga cholesterol ali akogoteye meki yagera amaroira na gotonyora marioga ni gotokurusia se mu Hong Kong eyere ni China ayande ngurustora sensemo ya India na yandi ngurustura sensemo ya South Africa na yandi na yaita Kenya gaiga bari no kuganya mwako ni ori mirimo baichi senyegitari yaitu banyora maegerio egere tubwatera naso obwamo obweni abantu baitu gusi nonya nisiko yangusi
asamanke bakere simya se namba 0717176383 gose obatarire memo chobosongo ange nesteji ya Kigali. HK Pharmaceutical Center obobwenia oraigene.
Etaya TV Omorabu Wagusi.
Sore manchu molgili bita TV andosi sore machire naenda wono kigima kwaligania se kwana ya bene abwasina komanyanga buna magega yogoso kiduka kidogo manchu melilia ngoso aturaiga sensemo ya kabire no mogeni onaiga iliyogo kwanira endoto yumuraiwense ya Kenya Professor Dr. William Samuel Ruto ase okoligia ko transform ense ya Kenya kwa sababu na Singapore ase kindoto kyaye na asiganga ya ibuno muraiwense ya Kenya na retoje kwa nasiri tukiriga lia rero kuno ntarachaka no mugeni dekeyemo nuko ngankira nginyole bali abagadate gutobwate witira sense media yemitandao na lia abere gakonekirwa na lia kijume cyabo kiriki asuwango mono kiagarende kabagutobwatia na bere bya kumanyura no chaiga Samuel mu science akontebinga kurwanya boterere bondo nyani kundani hadi mwisho gaki na rulengora yane yapene ko cyasi muchuma ticho muganda so usyo mochukroye yasana Nyamzi Paul wa Collins akontebinga mochukro ukirwa Paul muchache nyamnyam na mama Collins monanya nchira job honorable Dennis Kimanga nyamwamu musiribege su Rose Nyambeki David Warlock. Thank you so much do chabu Samuel Maria ali akonya baterera bundunya nkrochi. Thank you so much singe nchoko baiga Duke Mobegi singe nchoko so myumrubilio Isaya Nyatundo Mosongo otebinga woza mchop. Thank you so much Bikondo Wesley kurwa Karen Ngonga mfollow. Thank you so much Morini Kerry muguso. Thank you so much nkoro chabu biyono sana singe ncho yokonda gutobwate kanchirengire bagaliga mwarigene mogeni onaiga se studio agosukiri mwanchumulilia tumanye goswase nkwana hiyo turigete kukwana siri tukeriga. Thank you so much wakili singe nchokocha na chire kwaliganie na kwanu mwanchumulilia emenyikania senche yawe.
Thank you. Nche Mokaya John Momanyi, mwakili, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Kwani abansi baligereti, patei nga biamono kutoka gutoligereria na I'm pleased kutoka gale Azizi biamono. Thank you.
Biasana tete tura tuchakere fast tutu kwano mwachubulilia mangana ye endoto yumuraiwense ya Kenya William Samuel Ruto koligia go transform ense ya Kenya se might go se manifesto yaye but it is an agenda abwate atagete go drive na kiki yakogera ndahiga kabisa singencho no mageni onaiga turabora ninga inki tabotikero gatiense ya Kenya na Singapore na rochaliwo convention Malaysia voigo tubora ninga tabotikero. But before tutaraswabu tutakokobolia wakili kwa bera igamo na inchi sama tukatalia makomo akoyo magima twatalire sana ngo turasubura buli ukwana netaye tubere tukubolikira mangana amange mangana ge siasa tubata tukobolinga kwalire buno mwaka baire if we do a review tu nabo truchinga in terms of siasa ngiya korekanire mangana rengete okorubekana kwa basaye na korekana mense mangana ya abduction si anyerko bakago korekana totware issues and education totware issues and the Ministry of Health na bintu binde bingi. If we do a review of this buna mwana Kenya nendo muntu manyete mangana rengete siasa ko analyze ese binte biga ngakyora nyarko bagoko biteba na as we even proceed to 2026. What do you think serikali ya Kenya ibwana tegokora so as to ensure Wakenya kawaida mkomenyale buya manaza abductions Ministry of mangana education mangana yobochanu nabo igwa mangana rengete infrastructure of which the government is doing well asenseme you
ntawe Azizi generally as it's been almost 3 years now since the UD administration so at serikali we ask ourselves Kenya, what have we achieved? Nikyo Mokenya nyareko nyora se miaka 3. The promise we were given versus now as balito toko digere litonyara koranga nkikeroro. We were told of affordable housing, we were told of a narrative yarenge bottom up. Nga bantomba rubo gimaborense wache bogi maboro byake chiga asichia youth. We were told of including the hustler fund, which is no longer being spoken about. And we want to ask ourselves, nkyo Mokenya benefited. Of course, there are negative things. Muna mentioned which is strike chia banyagitali, strike chia lecturers, youths bago itua for speaking the truth and criticizing government and other things that are there. So if we rate according to my opinion may not be the opinion of many people. We have scored below 50%. So the houses to a promise they are there. We are seeing constructions ongoing, but we've not seen Kenyans bako move in. A few were given in Nairobi, which later we had those are stories we had. We do not know. So in terms of performance, it is poor. And Kenyans are now asking, this new narrative, we are transforming Kenya to a third world, to a first world actually, to a country called Singapore. Maybe we ask ourselves, where is Singapore and where was it? Where now we want to compare ourselves with. Singapore is a country people live, in Kenya we are told we live under $1 a day. Whereas in countries that are developed, such as Singapore, people live over 500 to 1,000, earning they're able. This mechanism per day because it enhance industries creation, enhance job creation, and most people are engaged in terms of their job availability better within Kenya. Their infrastructure is much better, which then puts them at a better place within Kenya. And now that is where the president is telling us, so we ask ourselves, where are we and what have we done in the last 3 years? And how long is it going to take us to get to that Singapore status? Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, because you've driven yourself in there on Eseto Kabisa. Now, what is the first, was this idea in Ruto's manifesto during the campaigns?
Of course, it was not. Aziz.
And then on the same, on the same, we want to ask ourselves, was the idea as a manifesto? Number two, as a manifesto, so that we now come up with another idea of transforming Kenya to Singapore.
I look at it this way, Aziz. Before elections in 2022, we had a story.
That's true.
We had narrations, bottom up. So now we are creating another story for the 2027 elections. Purely not for the benefit of Mokaya, but for the benefit of the political class. Ruto has changed the narrative. He brought us bottom up, which has completely failed.
That's true.
You look at the achievement, the performance so far. We are saying, personally, I'm saying it is below par. Somebody else would have a different opinion. Maybe, one of the many Kenyans, but it came to power on a narrative. Sloganeerism. They are creating a slogan. But the topic of discussion in the next 1 or 2 years for purposes so bottom up has completely failed. The people who are expected to mama mboga they are not in government. These people buy positions. And so many other people are suffering. So now we are creating a second slogan for re-election purposes to transform Kenya to the Singapore status. And he's busy. We ask ourselves hard questions. A cabinet the policy you will transform Kenya. Were Kenyans involved in that discussion? Public participation. Were counties and other leaders involved? He came up a week or so ago in a public rally and announced it. He called cabinet to ratify his plan. Cabinet did not sit Konyara or discuss or adopt that plan. He's calling them to rubber stamp what he thinks is right to do. And do we have the infrastructure? Singapore had to stop corruption for them to move. I mean, Kenya, can we develop this corruption when we are told that these projects they are awarded Kororoli, Moko and Mwabu Mupira, Shabana, Mwata, I mean, what of us Shabana? It's not wrong. It's a good thing the president is doing, but we ask you. Is it fair? The distribution, it's not fair. Political appointments are done biased. Look at Kisii County. Those constituencies that look like they are fighting the government do not benefit anything at all. Whereas those constituencies where their leaders look like they are supporting government are enjoying everything. So then with that kind of mentality, the Singapore you want us to go, we must first be fair. I mean, say whether you are in government or not, you deserve. That is the only way we are going to get development. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well explained, I think. But you've talked of a slogan.
Yes.
Recently, there was a slogan here, one time.
Yes.
Ruto criticized that slogan a lot.
Yes.
So I wonder, Ikiagora, Ruto criticize mangana slogan is the same guy which slogan
who drives in them. In political circles, Aziz, you've had people call him the master of sloganeerism. And when he wants to achieve something, he'll bring a slogan and the discussion goes around it. Now, clearly, he's challenging the one term and he's trying to make them look like Abantababe, but so now the story behind the transformation towards a first world, towards Singapore and other developed countries, so that he looks like he's working. But Aziz, we created a fund, housing fund. which the information, and people are saying it's in public domain. The housing fund, which Kenyans contribute, has been used to borrow somewhere. We've heard those stories, that it has been used as security by the government, what they are doing. So we have now created an infrastructure or the roads fund. There's a name by Mokaya. So which we will, Kenyans pool Kenya taxpayers money, then they are used as a security to go and borrow. They say we are giving this fund in case serikali teakana a fund yechibesa toro kufermo nyingo so wachire jinganiga, and we expect, of course, a tax. People are criticizing this fund, this authority you are creating is run by, of course, one or two individuals. Chibesa chigocho, how do we account for that money? You know, even the housing fund yoka, it has not been used like we expected. So we are creating opportunities for stealing. We are creating opportunities in the guise and development, which is disastrous, Azizi.
Okay, among the key pillars, President Ruto's outline, key pillars, one, investing in the people, that is economic transformation, toward generating additional energy, na enhancing transport and logistics. Na which of these pillars do you think is the most critical for Kenya's growth? Investing in people, that is investing in people. Investing in people is one of the key pillars. Number two, economic transformation. Number three, generating additional energy. Additional energy, how to generate it, and enhancing transport logistics.
Aziz, these are pillars. We saw him actually in the Jamhuri Day celebration.
Yes, by the way.
We saw him in other forums. And now he's changing the bottom up that we had to a new. He's coming up with new pillars. We talk of enhancing people or investing in people. So far, investing in people would mean you support people in their growth. Something of the Hustler Fund here talked about. We've seen there is the digital lending that youth, Nyota, those kind of programs. That is investing in people. You give people money, but then is it fair? How is it distributed? You know, those are the questions we are asking. I've not seen a villager I've not seen any unless Aziz say have you heard of anybody Hustler Fund? Hustler Fund was one fund most people funny 800 shillings. That kind of investing in people. 800 shillings as is Korwase Hustler Fund. How is it going to help transform? Kenyans are hardworking. We only want to create an enabling environment and create jobs. So this first pillar has a lot of questions. Of course, economic growth. Economic growth, I would say Aziz and give it to him that before he came into power, of course, about the issues instability and the Kenyan shilling. We had issues of prices were inflation and other things which are stabilizing. But then now additional creation of energy as the third and other pillar, achieve, because we have Kenya Power, he's creating other bodies, or the only other option he's going to do is to allow other private investors get into the energy sector, so that Kenya Power can track on these other energy producing institutions get it open, so that even private investors who feel they have the capacity to generate power, they compete it so that Kenyans can choose which power are you taking. Kenya Power contract, a grid they can share, or are you getting a private investor so that then even the prices are easily determined. You know, nobody knows how Kenya Power or billing up. The tariffs are decided by themselves. So that is the other pill I think he wants to get into. And of course, he mentioned transport. You've seen him make government pronouncements, Korosiale Superhighway, Mombasa, Koigorale, Long Nairobi within Koigorale Chipara. We've been told visit Kericho, Nakuru, Koigoruchire, Nairobi, Nakuru, Naivasha. You know, those are pronouncements he's making. But you know, and they justify his borrowing. The majority leader was saying, accepting on public media that yes, Kenya is borrowing, but then are the funds borrowed being used prudently? That is what I talk about. Kenya arachide go to make in a way. Na baba Kenya bago wakana. Ngaki ya Kibaki borrowed strategically. Kibaki invested mines, and of course that is when the first time got to the CDF, which money is that is the first time we had free primary education. You know, we had 1 or 2 highways, the Thika super highway. Uhuru came into office, of course, and he borrowed. Of course, every government will rely not entirely akego as a borrowing, and Uhuru to arochenere bintarosati. Now, with the borrowing to eternity ceiling, Kenya at the moment, we're asking ourselves, what are we feeling? Kenya, are we benefiting? Which, in my opinion, is there is very little benefit. And the first thing, if we have to develop a president and the government, corruption. Yes. So that they deal with corrupt people, they ensure there is fairness in government, that resources borrowed are used. Corruption. Those are the decisions, I believe. We hear stories of how Singapore came to grow. Stories of the president, the leader of Singapore then, achetena ministers, kabaire melia, kabaira rocha, katiga bando, kairana, akabatigo, bariba, corrupt. So, you know, that is to say, bande baru teturoch. Those tough decisions. What if the president today decides corruption? When there are rumors, he's also engaged in the same. You know. Yes, Azizi. Yes.
But that one aside, infrastructure, the way Singapore looks like, and the way Kenya looks like currently. But now, in transforming Kenya to a Singapore, you need something like 5 trillion.
Yes.
How manageable is that?
It is manageable because Aziz, well, a budget at the moment is somewhere about there, around 3 or so trillion per year. But now this is particularly for this transformation. What does that imply? That he will get to the pockets of Kenyans, of course, by increasing taxes. Because we may not, those are the sacrifices Kenyans are taking. When he wanted to build the houses, he had to create housing levy. So now he needs 5 trillion, which in his approximation, he believes na and by the way, where was that approximation done, Aziz? Which economists, which department, this is a figure he mentioned in public. Is it professionally taken? Because were professionals involved, actuaries to estimate, and what were they estimating in the first place? We do not know because public participation there. So the president comes and says, I need 5 trillion to develop. This 5 trillion definitely will carry to us. We expect more taxes. We expect maybe they will start to tax Kenyans on the highways. These like we are doing with the expressway. Some of these roads, when he's creating them, taxing for using that road. Now you pay Motara Soipara. You know, that is how he's going to raise this money, which is going to be costly even for the Saba Kenya to travel. You know, now you have to pay fares will hike. We expecting magolio into very bitatu ikame. Yes, so that money, is it available? Much as the plan looks amazing, is it attainable? And we could lay the basis for that maybe over years. Yes.
Yes, sana. Creo que ende creo kuligeria inchira kuma idinga kifiga ri swali ri kwabwate na inchira limbwate. Who certain
agreed that the 5 trillion is the only money needed to transform
Kenya.
Yes, was
maybe if I may ask, Parliament itogere sidelined or say we
agreed, Aziz, and some of us agreed that the state capture that was being talked about at some point was real, because our MPs beyond go praise the president every single day. They never criticize. They never even want to find out what is the president doing. He actually calls them over lecture. You saw him. You are corrupt. And of course a few resisted, but nothing happened. Now even we expect whatever he's bringing cabinet a special sitting in cabinet, and they passed. We expect parliament to pass. Our parliament is not independent. My opinion, of course, and I would give reasons for that. They never criticize $1 billion. They don't see Ruto must pass. We hear money is exchanged in the corridors of parliament. We are not sure, and of course, most of them sing his song. And he has managed Kubabeka by dish out these development projects, Chipara, Okumopinga, Okolina. So people are fearful, and they have toed the line. So the parliament, the legislature, which should be the arm that check presidential power, the use of the power by the president, he is not doing its job. Clearly, maybe as we get to next year, 2026, parliament, people would not be there. They are out here for 2027.
Yes, son. The transformation dream is coming when we are almost 2 years to election.
Elections.
And then the major leaders in the government, there is really no need for politics at the moment. It is time to when is this dream going to come true?
Aziz, I mentioned here and I said, in my right mind thinking, this is a slogan they are creating for re-election purposes. The bottom up has failed. So they want to create a new narrative, 2 years to election. And actually, funny thing, you will find ourselves debating it. We have already started. You can imagine on most of our radio stations, on most of our TV stations, in public forums, our leaders are discussing the transformation. So it's a project with a slogan, Yoko Nyaragoetia, 1 or 2 leaders, especially Serikali, for the next election. Because is it possible, if we have not achieved, if the president sat down, I came and I promised I have achieved 100 or 90%. Now it is time we also come up with another program. I mean, why are we dreaming so far? Why can't we just achieve what we had promised our Kenya? Then we can plan and involve Kenyans in the transformation. Because when we are talking of 5 trillion for the transformation, there are Kenyans who sleep hungry. There are Kenyans who can't afford the price of gas. Bagotumia makarabado, bagotumia mafuta chinko. There are Kenyans we are talking of infrastructure. When other parts of Kenya, when there is insecurity, there are places Kenya freely like Kenya. So we are talking of the transformation. The basic needs Chaba Kenya. Have they been met before we even start discussing some of these things? Yes.
Maybe some economic diversification.
Yes.
How can Kenyans reduce, or Kenya can reduce its reliance on matters agriculture and diversify its economy to achieve sustainable growth?
Aziz, you diversify depending on the raw materials provided. So how are we going to diversify our reliance on agriculture when we do not have the capacity to industrialize? How many industries do we have? Very few, Aziz, we can mention. We are not able to even we never had a story after that. What happened? Is Kenya producing oil or not? We do not know. A few barrels were I don't know what happened. So without agriculture, because Kenyans are born believing in we depend on agriculture. Actually, we don't even process. Avocado is packed, has avocado chairwa for processing. Chai ito tea, nere kwenda yaro sikutwaona likwanya hanga processed in Germany or in China. Chai toletega nere ile siku eka process wekaleta. So we can only stop the over reliance on agriculture, on farming, if our country, the leadership decides to industrialize. The aspect ya go manyara go transform. Like if it's coffee, we are able to roast coffee in Kenya because but it is taken to Sasini, Rwanda, ya process as it's the same thing. Yes, so are we able to what is the raw materials we have is what we are using. So clearly Kenyans, most of us, depended and have been supported by farming. So the transformation can only be done by creating an enabling environment. We had some time investors President Samia Suluhu was hard saying kwa jirani kuna waka moto. Investors were running to Tanzania. What he meant is that there was the taxing regime in Kenya was punitive. Ekagera investors bagachaka gutamagochia kogenda chinse chesiko. So we must first sit as a country to align our taxing regime ever predictable, so that when an investor comes, he knows if I pay these taxes by the end of the year, I'm not after you've invested along the way and when your taxes introduced. That instability in the taxing regime investors so we must, if we must stop relying on agriculture, then the country, the leadership must make definite steps. Go change, go create industries, go create processing plants, so that we now and we can even also in avocado to process so that Kenya grows and stops relying on the basic production as agriculture. Yes.
Yes, sana krokende libuli jo moelio tumanye go bono ko comparison ya gusu. What the challenges ahead on matters this vision. I have no Mokaya, Karukuli Libya. Challenges Chiraro, Sema Onkyo, which was saying, you Arabase will affect, will attain a vision. How might these challenges be addressed?
Thank you. The challenges, the first challenge, is assume as is this 5 trillion was available. The first challenge would be the use of that money. The prudent use of transformation. Would we have leaders in Kenya presently in charge of that fund and administer it? I mean, Kenyans, all of us would say no, because really, left, right, center. So this fund we are creating, the first challenge and the first fear Kenyans are having, that this is another way to create challenge number 1, corruption, of course, and accountability. And do we have the master plan to implement? I mean, are we still going to dish out development? Tokens to appreciate political support. So are we creating a fund of 5 trillion 5 years down the line? Constituency na regions pro-government. So what happens to the other Kenyans? Is that plan inclusive of every Kenyan, regardless? of which political side you are. I mean, Kenyans would tell you, of course not. These monies would be contributed by all Kenyans, but the people who will benefit will come from a specific area because they either support government or the leader, the person in charge, so those are the challenges. Favoritism, those prudent use of those funds, those are the challenges. And the only way we can do that is by possibly the president would have sat the political class, sat Kenyans, the public participation, they agree to elect and support this project, not forcing it to the throats Chaband. So that then you either accept or not, you know, it comes condition lazima mokore. So these challenges are there, and all of us are fearful. I mean, taxes na kiogo achieve this development without increasing taxes on Kenyans. And taxes, we are saying chiatole meidebo. So there is fear. There is another challenge. Yago chaka correct. Go increase taxes or to even borrow. Yes, you either increase tax or the 5 trillion or you borrow. And borrowing means over a period Kenya would be overburdened because we have to pay some of these debts. You had at some point to pay back the monies to abort. And you know, the government when borrowing, they use certain strategic projects, Puna security. The port of Mombasa was at some point used for borrowing, and we failed to meet the targets. The country had to go and negotiate. Otherwise, the people, the financiers then would have come and officially, of course, taken over the running of the port for their own benefit. And now we mentioned here that those funds that are created. So that of a borrowing, is it sustainable? Yes.
Kisando chinsi kiana cha elire mbatanyi kidaka isatonya kikobucha na wanted to call bageri huko ningana yawe mahali but koko mention you are parting shot. Could like you to I think no consideration. Previously President Kenyatta na abwate Kibaki na abwate agenda ya vision
2030 years.
How far is that vision attainable? Nero na batoko yedigereri partially.
It was, I would say, Azizi, before Vision 2030 was crafted, heads of government departments were called Bagaisaransa. Bakaenda retreats Bakakwana. You know, a target has to be achievable. It must be attainable. It must have timelines. It must have modalities to achieve. That is when proper target setting is done. Now, we are setting a target for transformation without knowing when, because we've not had those timelines. We have said without knowing what mechanisms are we going to use, which kind of professionals do we need to implement this, and which relevant department is responsible for implementing this. You know, the Vision 2030 was set up in such a way, a department involved targets they will achieve. Today, you're giving us 4 pillars without telling us security department, infrastructure, or these other ministries. What is the duty of each minister to achieve this? Or the head, the directors under the minister, PSS, they do not know. Actually, it's a narrative. So I think time I wish we had some time, but there
is a lot. By the way, we need to talk about. We need to talk about. There was a deal of health.
Yes, some signing of documents which now ended up in court. I think we are making so many mistakes as a country and as the leadership, which is of course detrimental, and it's for political convenience because the leader needs to be seen makes decisions without involving even the cabinet, even the leaders. So we keep on making mistakes, but thank you, and I'm always available and pleased to be here with you. Of course, Tingo Korantara Kwanya Wantoa Mintova Kitutu Chache South, Bogeka Ward, Seito Nyonsia, Keso Nyonsi, but I'm Biamono Nesu Kwengia because we do not know when we are meeting again. We wish them well and wish them a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Biamo.
Biasana wakili, thank you so much. Really to have na wakili ya kwa nila mange. Awa nije on that okay tubate binte byo kora chidil chuko saini ko litaroni chia in court bine binge sana litaroni kanto dikan to warninga
what exactly was the deal?
Yes,
we can look at that template.
Yes, a little bit.
Discussed. Thank you.
Kwesana machumali lembia senye choka baiga twasangire na wakili asenchire yoboime elio otema kumanya kabisa inki kitakiye ko kolekana for Ruto to achieve a dream yae kolengana na wakili opinion yae ne libina sometimes kisoro ne chiga nigochira political of which to kunyara gukana kera Ruto is a politician, so in case of anything kinege ya korengere should be political. Is most probable. Ya unasanga choka baiga twasangire sana wachubulile antitukulile bali mwatu gwatia subango ndo chegara nikanomba no nchiri onte vinga kuruchese mochego ma wendete otubwatia thank you so much onte you enjoy the program so much, thank you so much mata maake na ninkurochaiga wendete otubwatia so thank you so much thank you choka baiga esago seni wika litukuri ankumira na nerda na kumbuka gisoi asumurulio kwa neta ya kwa naona so konyulia mangana maiya senchira yo wenge na sege kerebo senchiri kwa Cyrus Azizi tuwabatirane sana Franklin Mayunga kwa sesema ya kamera Ruto Luda na sesema ya kabri ya studio kwa ndeke malio gine chicha kwa kubolio kanda kwa Lirieta TV warabu wakusi. Yes,